Omar, thank you for speaking to me. You're running as an MP where?
In Bolton, Northeast.
For which party?
But I'm standing as an independent. I feel at the moment, these parties, they're not representing us. They're not representing our beliefs. And they're ignoring our every crying call for a ceasefire, an immediate ceasefire. They keep beating around the bush when it comes to using the word ceasefire. They talk about a long-lasting ceasefire. They talk about a pause, a humanitarian pause. But what they're not talking about is an immediate end to the killing of our brothers and sisters in Palestine.
When did all this start?
See, people will say this started on October 7th. No, it didn't start next October 7th because our brothers and sisters in Palestine were getting abused, harassed, killed, massacred on October the 6th, on October the 5th, on October the 3rd. Go back 75 years, it was happening still. This is not something that's only just happened a few months ago. Palestine has been a huge problem from the beginning in terms of the abuse that the people of Palestine have been facing throughout, getting kicked out of their homes. You know, they've not been given a chance. Gaza is a concentration camp. Anybody that thinks otherwise is just kidding themselves.
What do you say to the Christians who don't know that the third oldest church in the world was destroyed recently?
My heart goes out to the Christians because Christianity was formed in Palestine. You know, if you pick up an old Bible, it says Palestine in that Bible. Are you with me? You know, Bethlehem is in Palestine. Jerusalem is in Palestine. Israel is something new that's come about only in the last 75, 80 years. And it makes me sick that the Christians and the Muslims are getting wiped out, ethnically cleansed. One by one, they're gone. And you know, there will come a time, if we don't speak now, that there will be no more Muslims in Palestine, there will be no more Christianity in Palestine. It will just be a Zionist state. And that, unfortunately, is the way that it's looking.
Do you see a future where people could live together, the three religions?
Look, for thousands of years, all three religions were working and living together in harmony. You hear stories of Jewish parents giving their kids to Muslims to babysit them, and the other way around. This is not something it's not been hatred for thousands of years. This is all propaganda that's happened in the last 75 to 80 years. Prior to that, there were Jews always living in Palestine. There were always Christians living in Palestine. They were living together in harmony, working together, and there was one community. Just like how everybody is integrated in the UK. We have everybody from every background here. We're not fighting with each other. This is all caused by the people at the top that make money from selling bullets, from selling weapons, and it's just a propaganda war. And unfortunately, the Muslims and the Christians in Palestine are the scapegoats of that.
You heard of the Samaritan religion? It's a very small community. They're still living in Palestine. I just want to mention them because it's more than just Christian, Muslim and Jewish. There's other religions that have that land as a holy land. It would be great if we could live together.
100%. It's all about living together in peace. You know, wars don't help anybody. The only people that benefit from wars are the people who own the factories that sell the bullets. Yeah? We need to live together. We need to live in harmony. Too much blood has been spilt. Yeah? Our brothers and sisters are getting killed on a daily basis. They're getting abused, tortured. People are posing with their lingerie. The IDF soldiers are holding women's lingerie and posing with it. How can anybody expect that to be acceptable? Yeah, how can the IDF say we're the most humane army in the world? How can they, with the same face that they're holding this lingerie of Palestinian women, they're also saying we're the most humane army in the world? They're kicking the Palestinians out of their homes and eating their food from their cupboards in them houses in Gaza. My God, that is sick. Yeah, they have broke every single international law you can think of. Initially, when they sold the propaganda, they said 40 babies, yeah, and the world went crazy. I felt sick when I heard that news, and I prayed to God it wasn't true. And as a Muslim, I knew it wasn't true because Islam doesn't teach babies. They just sold the propaganda just to legalize and make things, you know, the retaliation, make that feel normal for them. When they bombed one hospital, they said, no, Hamas bombed the hospital. It was their own rocket that bombed their own hospital. Fine, okay, let's just go with the analogy that they have done that. 36 hospitals since then have been bombed. Have Hamas bombed all their own hospitals? Who's bombing them? It's definitely not the idea. It's definitely not Hamas. Are you with me? So these guys, they know exactly what they're doing. They're playing the game. They've moved everybody into Rafah. There's about a couple of million people in a very small city. Yeah, and just to give you context, the population of Manchester is 500,000 people, and it's still a busy place. To stick 2 million people in Rafah and then shoot missiles at them daily, what are you doing? Yeah, it's fun and games for the IDF soldiers right now. They're just taking shots at these poor civilians in Rafah right now.
But how can people get behind your campaign? How can people find you?
So you can find me on social media. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. My name's Omar Shafiq. You'll find me through all them channels. Really, guys, it's more than just supporting me. We need to support all of our independents. The people of my community, I need them to get behind me and vote for me come election time. But what we need to do now is, if you're sat in your home right now watching this video and you think, what can I do to change things? Rather than just thinking, oh, you know, I wish things can get better. No, don't just wish. Get out there, register as an MP, pay your £500. It's all it costs. It's not a lot of money. Yeah. Get on that ballot list and start knocking on doors, raise awareness. You need to be switched on with what's going on in your own neighborhood, on your own doorstep, and on the international level as well. We all need to re-educate our communities.